afternoon, and good morning, good afternoon, and if coming home from working a long 9 to 5, hope you're having a great one as we bring to you another edition of BodySlamNet's Talktagon with myself, Rami, and the GOAT, Max.
Hey,
Max had himself a great weekend. I cannot wait to get right
how to wear
into
the
that.
green hat, little
Yeah,
foreshadow
exactly.
action.
Dubs. You know what I mean? Like dubs all the way, my guy. Like my goodness, what a weekend it was. The UFC travel to Qatar. I believe this was the first time ever that they did it in the promotion's history. And yes, it was the promotion's debut in Qatar, which became the third country in the Middle East after the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. There were initially rumors that the first event in the country would take place on May 17 for UFC's Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales, but that card was moved to the Apex in Las Vegas due to unknown reasons. We don't know. Maybe they didn't want to see Michael Morales actually kill a guy in front of all the Qatar crowd. This event featured a lightweight bout between Arman Tsarukyan, who should have been in the title picture quite some time
Yeah,
ago,
girl,
against Dan Hooker,
damn
who's
back
been
injury.
so crazy. Dan Hooker has been so crazy good. The man
Mm.
literally just spent all of his VC on tattoos, and it's became an even bigger beast than before.
Yeah,
How was your weekend, Max?
it was fantastic, bro. We had a great UFC card that really lived up to the hype. It was a good fight night. They definitely stacked the card for the first ever event in Qatar, and all those fighters really showed out, even the guys on the prelims, especially, honestly. And it was just a great weekend all around. Had some boxing, had Benavidez, Bam Rodriguez, and Devin Haney, even got a knockdown. I was like, what is going on?
I feel
So,
so bad because I had no idea Devin Haney was even fighting. Really,
yeah,
there was so much going on in that day because, of course, the morning time it was the UFC Qatar card. So I woke up at I woke up at 6 in the
yeah.
morning, and I'm like, okay, the card's supposed to be on, and it was like, oh no, it won't start for another hour. I was like, fuck, I'm awake.
You're
Why?
like, I already woke up for this shit.
I already woke up for this shit, man. Like, come on. And then, of course, we got the Formula One race in Las Vegas, which, oh my God, like just so much great tension, so much, greatness in that. Max Verstappen trying to stay alive, which he did. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri of McLaren disqualified. I was
Yeah,
like, God, you're good. You're
McLaren
good to me.
fumbling.
Like McLaren, oh my goodness. So it's like this is just tough. This is
So
gonna be
great
so
weekend,
freaking
bro.
tough.
There's so much good sports shit going down,
So
and
much. Like
it was like, damn,
we didn't
can't even
have
keep up.
baseball. We don't have baseball anymore. The Dodgers won the World Series. You know what I mean?
Let's
I
fucking
can't,
go.
which I cannot wait to cover this weekend. With Max Dinnenberg, we're gonna be covering Survivor Series, which will be held at Petco Park in San Diego.
Great stadium.
Home to the Padres, who the last time that Petco Park saw a win was when the Dodgers beat them to advance past
Bro,
the wild
the little brothers
advance
stay the
past
little
that.
brothers.
Get their asses whooped, go to the World Series, whoop on the Canadians, and then just get themselves another championship. You know
Yes,
what I mean? It's a
sir.
good life. It's a good life. It's a good life. But of course, so much good sports. Football is always so much fun to watch, especially
Yeah.
the overseas, games that we get at 6 in the morning. They're great. Like you wake up, get yourself a bowl of cereal, a hash brown, a freaking piece of bacon, whatever the fuck you eat, and then you just enjoy yourself that whole morning. And then you get to games. You get to the Sunday Night Football, which was of course the Rams over the Buccaneers. The Rams massacred them. Like it was just nuts, and I'm loving this
Oh,
because
Stafford MVP.
Stafford MVP. I'm being honest. That's the first time I ever heard that. Of course, this year not a lot of people are trying to push for him. They're of course trying to push for like what, like
Drake May,
Buffalo
Jonathan Taylor.
Drake May, Jonathan Taylor, which Jonathan Taylor,
Valid, honestly.
shocking fourth quarter he had where he literally was just pushed down to 15 yards only rushing over the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Just a
Yeah.
nuts time. But that's what's the great thing about sports. It's the great thing about what we watch and what we're enthralled with because we're not gonna be too unbiased. You know what I mean? When it comes to our teams, we can have like a little bit of like a
Yeah.
victory lap. When they win a championship, we can do even a bigger victory
Oh,
lap.
yeah.
But of
Yeah, that's
course,
my specialty.
a heavyweight bout between Sergey Spivak and Shamil Gaziev was scheduled for this event. The pairing was originally scheduled for that Burns and Morales event before it was shifted to UFC 316. However, Gaziev withdrew from that event due to a broken finger sustained from training. In turn, Spivak withdrew and was replaced by former LFA heavyweight champion Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Mm.
This guy is the
Yeah.
big headliner right now. What a crazy dog he is. Josh Hogan wants to call him out. Walter Walker maybe even want to fix up his ankle and get out there. There's so many fighters who want to take that fifth or sixth fight of the year over Waldo Cortez Acosta. It's a nuts world we're living in.
Yeah.
It's so sad. We were supposed to get Paulo Costa against Sharbutin Magomedov, but Magomedov withdrew due to undergoing nose surgery. Spill the flowers, dude. Come on, dude. Go ahead and take a fight.
It might get messed up anyway.
You know what I mean? Like it's Paulo Costa. Come on now. There was so many fights that were supposed to, of course, be scheduled. Denzel Freeman stepped in. Of course, wow, what a performance that he had to kick off the show. Because I hate these heavyweights.
Yeah,
I hate these heavyweights.
Not the most entertaining, but
it's tiring already. I'm tired of it. But let's get right into that. Actually, you know what I mean? Like let's go right ahead. Popping up.
Bro, Freeman came up for me.
He definitely did. Heavyweight action. Denzel Freeman against Marek Bohilo. Bohilo was 6-0. Freeman was 6-1. And the fight is the most uneventful fight in the entire world. I woke up at 7 in the morning for this, and all I saw was leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, and they weren't any damaging. That's the thing that bothers me. Where's the damage? Like,
bro, Mike, you're like 250 pounds. Let's see some weight behind those punches. Come on.
You know who does damage? You know who does damage in Texas when they're selling a house?
Oh,
Big Kev.
Shout out Big Kev.
Shout out Big Kev. He sells houses. He puts them on the lot, and he gets them out there. Denzel Freeman, he wasn't selling houses, but he was making sure that Marek Bohilo sold the fight, which he did. 30-27, 29-28, and 29-28. Honestly, at 30-27 is a shocker to see because I feel like both fighters were 29-28. You know what I mean? Denzel Freeman won, but it was a 29-28 performance, but it was just not entertaining at all. Every time Bohilo stepped in, he got caught, and then he would step back and just circle around the cage before he throws up a leg kick, circles around the cage. Like, is this another situation? What was that fight like a couple of months ago? Like, oh my God, there was a fight like that. Like, it was the first fight, and he just kept throwing leg kick, leg kick, leg kick. I'm having PTSD about it. I'm trying to remember so bad, but like, there's a situation like that where I bet on somebody to like open up the fight. I lost, and I was like, it's because they kept fucking throwing some bullshit. But,
for real, bro. I'm like, start the card out right. You know, I'm like, we want to see a knockout to start it out.
Right. Like, I believe our last card when we started it off, it was like, okay, like it was a pay-per-view. So we were like, oh, like, that was pretty good. And the second fight came around, it was a knockout, then a bunch of finishes right afterwards. That wasn't a situation here. I mean, we didn't get a knockout until 2 fights deep into this card. And then afterwards, we just got a bunch of submissions and knockouts, which I'm going to go here. That performance of the night, what the fuck? It's so funny that we still have this trend. The first finish of the night belongs a bonus. The first finish of the night, Ismail Nureyev, no bonus.
Yeah,
no bonus.
Bro, they're greedy with the bonuses.
They finally started giving bonuses after Luke Riley won in the prelims. Like,
I'm like, damn, the prelims get no love, and they're making no money.
Asu Almabayev, no, for his comeback win, especially in the third round, his comeback, nah. Abdul Rahman Yakayev, for his big submission win, nothing. What was that one fight that we saw where it was like a head kick knockout? Who was that again? I'm trying to freaking remember now.
Head kick knockout.
Like, well, it was a head kick, and then like he starts off the fight immediately, and he threw the head kick, and then he knocked his opponent down. Was that Yakayev?
I think it was, yeah, against Kasera.
Yeah, it was Kasera, whatever it is. But
yeah, Cerquera, yeah.
Dude got messed up. But
bro, yeah, he's on a rough one.
Denzel Freeman, Marek Bohilo. What were your thoughts on this opener?
Yeah, it was a tough one to pick because neither guy has been in the UFC before, so they're both making their debuts. But Freeman was able to just edge it out just a little bit. Neither guy I was too impressed with, as we already mentioned. So I don't know how long they'll stick around. They'll probably have to put on a little more entertaining fights if they want to keep their job more than a few fights, because kind of a sleeper fight, which unfortunately, like you said, is becoming more and more common in the heavyweight division, which makes no sense. That should be the one with the most knockouts. They have the most power, at least in theory they should, but they seem to be a little scared of getting hit sometimes and not actually letting their hands go. So, at least Freeman was able to get the W for my predictions, but other than that, not much to know. It was a pretty boring fight.
Pretty freaking boring. I almost fell asleep again, and I was like,
Yeah, exactly.
I would
Too early
felt
for
bad.
this.
You know what I mean? But Denzel Freeman walks away with that one. Hopefully, his next fight's way more impressive than this one. That's really all we could say. You know what I mean? Like, Marek needs to definitely throw some goddamn hands already. Like, how are you a wrestler and you're not taking down your opponent? You didn't even shoot for one takedown. He was like, he was so scared. I'm like, brother, what are you doing? You're 6-0. Like, get the fuck in.
For real, bro. I'm like, who are you fighting on regional scenes? Just straight bums or what?
It's like Alex Pereira coming in and being like, oh, I'm scared to strike.
Yeah,
Brother,
it's like
you have dynamite in your hands. Go boom shakalaka on these.
Well,
bitches.
don't change your style in the UFC just because it's the UFC, bro.
You know what I mean?
Go with what got you there.
And then our next fight, Norolo Aliyev against Shakur Rock. And Rock made it very honest. I mean, he posted on Twitter, there's no way you can defend all those damn takedowns. The suffocating performance from Norolo Aliyev is just amazing to see. His submission attempts, his takedowns, the way he suffocates you and he lands all those blows, he makes it significant. He makes it fun to actually watch, even though it was technically, just a wrestle fest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still something better than throwing around your weight and not knowing what to do, and then not only just not knowing what to do, just being in the octagon for no reason. Did you see that? Did you see that fighter from Cage Warriors? He's still like stuck in Qatar or whatever. Like.
How he was like, I want to be on short notice.
I'm gonna be on short notice, brother. You should have thought about that a week ago when they were actually saying, "Hey, we need a short notice fighter like Luke Riley." You know what I mean? Like,
for real, come on now he went there for nothing.
Exactly. I think he's still there, like selling like seashells or whatever the fuck. But what were your thoughts on Aliyev's performance here with the dominant wrestling? I'm gonna pull my fan.
Good W. He's now 3-0 in the UFC. 4-0 if you include Dana White's Contender Series, so he's been having his way with these dudes. Yep. Shamrock did his best, but this wasn't enough. Like you said, kept it honest. Hey, yes sir. Almost time for that turkey, guys. We have one more day, and then it's turkey time. I'm hyped for that. Good
turkey day and football. Hell yeah, brother.
Facts, dude. Ravens, go Ravens, taking down the Bengals. We got this. But
I agree.
Exactly. But Aliyev is, really, really fun prospect in terms of his activity, where he's kind of like one of those fighters where he's always pressuring you, always making you work. So he's going to be fun to watch. We'll see. They're probably going to need to throw him a step up because he's just kind of having his way with these guys lately. Shamrock did his best, but it wasn't enough. So I'm interested to see, are they going to push him up really far after this, or are they going to kind of just give him similar guys to who he's been facing, let him keep doing what he's doing? He's a young fighter. I think, his birthday's in a couple of weeks. He's going to turn 25, so he's a young fighter. Plenty of time to go, so they don't have to rush him. But I think that he could be rushed with his skill levels. But one way to find out, we'll see what the matchmakers do next.
I completely agree. The matchmakers are going to have their hands full, especially after this card, and especially with the new year coming, because everybody's going to be wanting to fight on that Paramount card and the Paramount, streams and everything, because you're going to be earning a lot more money, a lot more bonuses. I cannot wait for that update. I believe we're not going to get that update until maybe after Christmas, maybe after New Year's Eve, where the UFC will be like, okay, here's how the bonuses will work now. Here's how the new contract setups will work. Maybe that. I'm giving, I think, too much hope to Dana White, but I'm really hoping that they do pull through, because there's so many bonuses. But like 50K, that's not, dude. You're $1 billion organization. You know what I mean? There's no way that people should be earning only 50K. Got to get them 200K, 300K, 500K. Like, if boxing's able to do what they're doing for the past fucking 30, 40 years now, and the UFC has been bought up by billionaires. They're literally funded by billionaires.
Literally.
They're having a White House card where there's only 4,000 people allowed, and they have to be screened and checked and all this type of stuff. So good on you guys. You're earning great, great money. Pay back your fighters. Because it's not Dana White stepping in every single week. He's not John Cena. He's not Undertaker. He's not Triple H. He's not going out there on a 365-day schedule and fighting. He's not like Walter Cortez Acosta, Alex Pereira. He's not like Randy Couture was, or Tito Ortiz, or Chuck Liddell, any of these guys, where they're literally doing their best to push past the injuries, fight again, fight again, fight again, fight again. Dana just says, yeah, that fight was really boring. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Your guy just fought 6 times in that year, and you're gonna say that sixth fight was boring? Maybe because he's putting out his whole all into that 2026 or 2025 year,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden we're like, I don't know. Maybe it's because of this. Maybe it's because I
Yeah.
would root for this fighter over that fighter. No, dude.
Stop
pitting the fans against the fighters, and start paying the fighters what they rightfully deserve.
Yeah, did you see that interview? He was like, Dana was saying the UFC is not a job, it's not a career, it's an opportunity to become famous. I'm like, what, bro? I'm like, what are the fuck
Famous
you talking
how?
about, bro?
Like, famous how, motherfucker? Come
For real,
on,
bro.
now.
I'm like,
No
y'all are
offense,
shit at promoting them. All you do is fucking meme fucking content and Nina drama interviews. It's just like, no disrespect to Nina, but I'm like, bro, these fight fans want to see actual promotions.
But what happened to journalists? What happened to actually having journalists in the press conference and the post-fight conferences asking questions? Like, all these fighters or all these journalists like Harry Mack and Dylan Rush and Ben DeBane Davis and so many, Dylan Napoleon and Charlie Quinn, all these guys, they travel, they go there, they sacrifice so much to be able to be in that room and ask questions. Bellator had no problem with it. PFL had no problem with it. All these other promotions, these regional places in California, New Jersey, New York, anywhere around the world, Texas, they all had no problem. But the UFC is like, wow, you're a journalist? Not in our parts.
Well,
you have to be
not enough bootlicking.
You have to be a prize media fighter. Like, what is that supposed to fucking mean? I have to
it's
go take leg locks from Marab Dawalashvili and let him help my leg? Like, I'm not letting that happen, brother.
For real, bro. Dana's just starting to piss me off more and more with that shit, bro. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? He's saying, oh, once they get money, they lose their drive. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? And he mentions Khabib. I'm like, bro, Khabib's father died. I mean, father died. I don't think it had to do with the money. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? So, yeah, Dana be on one, bro. He's just getting more. As he gets richer, he's becoming more and more out of touch, bro. I'm like, he used to actually like the fights. Now it's just now he could care less and cares more about blackjack and fucking power slap than actually making sure the UFC and the fighters are taken care of. So hopefully one day he'll be gone, but we'll see about that.
We will see about that, truly.
I have a feeling he'll be around until he's like fucking 90.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't put it past that. Really, I wouldn't put it past. He'll probably try to pull a Vincent Kennedy of command. Try to get as far as he can before some lawsuit comes out and says that he did something wrong. Because really, with all these billionaires and all these people, like, they're like, oh yeah, I love the sport so much. I'm so passionate about it. Lawsuit, like, oh, okay, thanks, dog. Like, thanks so much for being so loyal and great to the sport. Our next fight was, by the way, if we go back to, of course, the pick'em, you're now about to be 3-0, which my dog. But Ismail Nureyev fought Ryan Louder, whatever it is. My apologies to him. But of course, he got knocked out in 1 minute and 26 seconds. Very, very quick, very swift. Ismail Nureyev, just what a monster it was. I legit laid back for like a second, and I sat up. I was like, all right, good stretch, knockout. I'm like, okay, I could probably lay back down for a little bit more. Like, just my goodness. Just an absolute beast. An absolute. He's Austrian and Moroccan. Like, what a crazy mix to get. You know what I mean? Like, last fight, he didn't have the best cardio. He lost to Jun Young Park, but prior to that, Bruno Silva he took out in his UFC debut. It took him a little bit to like get back into the heat of things because he was at Brave Championship fighting. He lost his last 2 fights there. Then he defeated Tahir Hadbi by submission guillotine. He beat Bruno Silva. He lost to Jun Young Park. And they're like, all right, man. Basically, it's now or never. If you don't impress here, then they're not gonna really want to give you that phone call again to take on another fight. He came in there and he showed balls because he took him out with a big knockout, and it was beautiful. What were your thoughts on Nordayev's big knockout win?
Nasty KO. Absolutely slept him. And it's tough for Loder. He came off winning the Ultimate Fighter competition, and ever since he's been 0-2. So it's been a rough one. Both of them first round knockouts. So I don't know. Maybe it's showing that the Ultimate Fighter is becoming less and less, prestigious because a lot of the times these winners lately don't go too far, but sometimes they do. So I still fuck with it. But man, it's crazy to see. You can win all those fights in the Ultimate Fighter, then you come onto the big leagues, and it's a whole different ballgame. And Nurmagomedov is nasty, dude. And 29 years old, plenty left in the tank. I'm interested to see if he keeps improving because, like you said, he's had a little bit of up and down in the UFC, but he's going to have a lot of momentum after that win. A lot more fans looking at him because anytime you sleep someone like that, people are going to remember you. And I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for his next fight. Probably will have to pick him again after he did us right with this one. But yeah, what a performance. Floater, I don't know, maybe the UFC is a step too high for him. He's 34 years old, a little bit old to be, getting knocked out like that back to back and not really having any UFC success as of yet. So we'll see what they do with him. But yeah, as for Nurmagomedov, great performance.
Great performance indeed. Our next fight, Alexandre Topuria against Big American. I saw a comment from our, the OG host, the GOAT, Brady. He said that Alexandre Topuria was never going to be like his brother. He is a hashtag not him.
Oh.
But yeah, and I was like, dog, are you smoking dick?
I guess I agreed with my pick, so I can't say anything. I doubted him.
Yeah, but here's the thing too. I want to say, Bekzat Almakan, his last loss before Topuria was to Umar Nurmagomedov. After that, he knocked out Brad Katona this past May, and then he waited, which was shocking. Like Brad Katona fought this past May. I totally forgot. Like it felt like such a long year for the UFC that I'm just like, I'm shocked. But he loses to Topuria, which we're gonna be honest. Bekzat has some crazy power. The second he touches your chin, you're gonna go down. And there was many instances in this fight between Topuria and him where Topuria did so well with the fluidity and the velocity and the volume that you have to have when you're going against a pure power puncher who can take you down. Topuria got the takedown. Topuria worked the cardio, and he was doing good for himself. First round, I'd say it could have gone to Bekzat. Then round 2 and round 3, Alexandre Topuria, guaranteed right there. Big Kev, you know what I mean? Like, sorry, I just saw a message saying Big Kev. So immediately popped me like, if you know, you know. Big Kev, baby. But Topuria worked him, you know what I mean? He did a great job of surviving, of staying in there and just, shooting for the fences and trying to get himself some good shots. And it was a great time. It was a great time. So Alexandre Topuria, gets himself another win in the UFC. And in my case, in my opinion, and everything, of course, it's going to take him a little bit to move up. But, dude, I think he's definitely ready to take on some really, strong competition. I'm not trying to say I'm not even saying Bekzat's not strong competition. Bekzat is strong.
Exactly.
That was a good opening of the door to get yourself into that, welcome to Salt to Platoon. How tough are you? You know what I mean? And Topuria is like, how tough am I? You got a battle of ketchup? And I'm like, okay, fuck yeah, I fucking open that bitch up. Yeah. So I keep seeing messages. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So, but no, seriously, Topuria definitely should be getting a big step up in competition. I would love to see it happen and to get himself a knockout so people can shut the fuck up, respectfully, Brady. So I can be able to say, hey, Topuria freaking got it. Because when we have to compare brothers every time, it's crazy because it's like, oh, Gabriel Bonfim is him. Ismael Bonfim is not him. I can understand that case nowadays. Or like, because you couldn't really do that with Nate and Nick Diaz. Nate and Nick Diaz, the first 3 fights in the UFC were all guillotine submissions. Like, they literally killed everybody in their path. So it's like, they're the most immaculate brothers to have. Yeah. And then you have now the Topuria brothers. So
they're on the come up. Especially, Ilya's obviously already on the top.
What were your thoughts on Alexandre's win this past weekend?
Yeah, I was rocking with Bekzat. I was feeling good about that pick. I was like, Topuria hasn't been tested yet. I'm like, Bekzat's already been in there with Umar. Went the distance, but lost. But I was still impressed with his resilience and how he was able to go all 5 rounds with Umar. And then he obviously had that crazy knockout of Brad Katona, which I believe was the first time Katona's been knocked out. So I'm like, this dude has some crazy power. But the Tapoya brothers, I mean, what can you say, dude? These guys just have such crispy boxing, or just seem to be prepared for anything that happens in there. And Tapoya was just controlling the fight most of the time, going forward, applying the pressure. Bekzat did his best and took some mean shots from Tapoya, but he was able to stay in the fight. At one point, I thought maybe it was about to be over, but thankfully Bekzat was able to, hold off, but ultimately lost the decision. So he's going to have to bounce back from that one. But as for Tapoya, yeah, dude, at this point, just throw him to the wolves, give him a ranked opponent, because Bekzat is pretty much one of the best unranked guys you can fight against. Yeah,
it's exactly so good.
So, I mean, I feel like he could probably take on most guys in the lower end of the rankings, because he's just so calculated, so good. Maybe a little less power, maybe Brady's on or something. But or maybe Bekzat just has a chin.
Then look at Gabriel, like I'm cute, you know.
But yeah, I mean, he seems massive for that division. So I think that it's going to be good for him.
I think he's actually more massive than his brother. Have you seen how his brother looks lately?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, look at that shit.
Little stubby legs.
Look at little stubby.
What's up with that? What's up with that? Bro looks like DC.
That was great. Have you seen his brother? Boom.
For a little guy, it's true, bro. The little bit strong. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Gotta watch out for him.
That 27 minutes into this thing, I gotta clip that now. So I'm gonna tag him, and he's gonna tag me. You're dead. Like, okay, I'm gone. But
it's like, don't talk about my stubby legs.
Topuria takes the big win there. Of course, his brother Alexandre Topuria. We will see more of him hopefully soon. Maybe we could even see him next month. I freaking don't know. You know what I mean? Because like anything could happen with those final Apex cards. Apex is strong, man. Apex is everything. But
so they love saving money on those Apex cards. Like, we won't give them to the fighters, but we'll just throw them in a little warehouse that we own, so we don't have to pay.
He's like, you want a bonus? You can stay at the freaking Apex. So that's the bonus, baby.
Well, the performance center is the bonus, guys. That's part of your pay.
Abdul Rahman Yakayev fought Rafael Sofkeya and beat him in 33 seconds. Fight starts off, head kick immediately. Was trying to pound on him and everything. Got the back, choked him out. Fight over. 33 seconds. I was brother, that was awesome. Holy shit.
Really, not much to talk about.
The only thing we really do is book him for the next month. Next month, go right ahead. Book him for one of those cards. He's at freaking light heavyweight. John Jones, you're in danger. You know what I mean? This guy is coming. But other than that, really, there's nothing really to talk about. He deserves a bonus. He's a badass, and I can't wait to see him fight next.
100%.
Next fight, it's a very good conversation to have, but it's also a sad one because I feel for Alex Perez. Alex Perez went from fighting for the championship to barely getting any wins whatsoever.
Yeah.
He fights Asu Almabayev, who he was fucking up.
Yeah, he was low-key winning for real. 2
rounds straight. He was messing him up with the leg kicks, with the wrestling, with the striking, everything. Legit, I was like, fuck, I made the wrong pick here. Asu's gonna freaking lose.
Yep, and that's what I was thinking too.
The second or third round starts, 22 seconds in, locked in the guillotine, jumped into it. I don't like when they say standing guillotine, because how are you standing? You're not using your freaking feet to have a base on the ground. That's not no standing. That's a flying guillotine. And wrecking your opponent's neck. Asu Almabayev gets that flying guillotine, chokes out Alex Perez, and does not earn himself a bonus.
What more do you have to do?
Really, I cannot wait for the day.
So the last one didn't get a bonus either. I'm like, a 30-second KO doesn't get you a bonus. A crazy comeback finish.
Crazy comeback finish. Luke Riley's debut. I'm very, very happy for Luke Riley. He deserves it. You know what I mean? Brother to Austin Riley, the superstar. Not really, but you know what I mean? You get here a 30-second knockout. Then you get a 22-second third round submission to get a comeback victory.
Yeah, after losing,
They're like, calm down. You want money? We're supposed to pay you? This is prize fighting, man. The prize is being in here.
So this is an opportunity to become famous.
This is an opportunity, man.
Although,
this is what you belong in.
You can't have any sponsors on the shorts, but this is an opportunity.
Come on, Jimmy Jones. Go get a What the fuck? But what are your thoughts
Bro.
on Asu Amabayev's big comeback victory with that submission?
Yeah, what a comeback, dude. I was, like you were saying, Alex was looking on point early, was able to control the fight up until that point, but once Asu got that choke locked in, it was all but over. He has a tight squeeze, and Alex just could not escape it. Had to tap out. Smart man. Otherwise, he probably would have fallen down, and that could have been bad.
It would have
And
been bad.
it's tough for Alex, man. He's only had a one win in his last 6 fights, so he's always making it competitive. But you got to get wins. That's the name of the game. So I'm not exactly too sure if he's gonna be around in the UFC much longer, but he's been a fun fighter while he has been around. Had some really bad luck, always having canceled fights over and over again. That one stretch where he was literally getting canceled every single fight. So, it's unfortunate for him, but for Asu, that's another name he could add to his resume. And he's definitely one of the more exciting guys in that division, showing his resilience, able to come back, get that finish. So I think that he'll be up in the rankings, and we'll see who they match him up with next. There's lots of fun matchups. So, I wonder if he's going to be, in the top 10, top 5 conversation in terms of matchups. We'll see what they do with him, because I think that he's definitely a really, really good fighter, just has to maybe not get pieced up early on. But, if you're able to make that
He is the
comeback,
number
then
7 ranked. He is the number 7 ranked. Alex Perez was the number 11 ranked. So a win right now, making a 3-fight win streak. I believe he goes over Manel Cape. Manel Cape did have to recently pull out of this fight. So I feel like you lose your ranking after that. You know what I mean? A little bit of like
that'd be a rematch. That'd be a rematch where Cape got him that first time. So shit, that'd be crazy.
And then
Get the revenge.
Tatsuya Taira, he's supposed to be fighting Brandon Moreno at the next pay-per-view, which is gonna be freaking tough.
Banger.
Like holy crap. Like Taira, after when he did the Hung Seung Park, I was like, I'm gonna pick Park here. And then he got pieced up in like 2 rounds. I was like I think that was the one that you picked.
Yeah.
You picked Taira to win, and I was like, damn, that fucked up.
So I'm high on Taira. He's a beast.
Exactly. And Brandon Moreno, he's a massive legend. What, a 3-time flyweight champion? Like, we never heard of that before, but he freaking did it. So I'm very excited to see, of course, how this flyweight division ends up, because Amir Albazi, he lost to Brandon Moreno. He's currently out with an undisclosed injury. Brandon Royval, he is supposed to fight Manel Cape. They're saying for the UFC on ESPN 73 card on December 13th. Yes. That's the headliner. Oh my God. Like,
okay.
Wow. Okay, so Manel Cape has not pulled out. He's actually fighting. He'll be fighting Brandon Royval on December 13th at the UFC Apex, home to the UFC Apex, land of the UFC Apex. But yeah,
everyone's favorite warehouse.
Everyone's favorite warehouse. You know what I mean? And then the number 1 ranked Joshua Van, who very well should be the number 1 ranked, is fighting Pantoja at 323. Wow.
Let's go.
Like,
can anyone stop Pantoja, bro? I mean,
just right. He legit said he had a retracted statement, but I still believe he's truly heavy on his statement of I'm gonna finish Joshua Van in the first round by submission. Like the last time we saw a submission win in the first round for the flyweight championship, I don't know if you remember, Nilson Figueiredo over Alex Perez.
Yep. That was nasty.
And that was the same night with Brandon Moreno. He won in the co-main event, and then they set up a month later Moreno versus Figueiredo, which set up the whole trilogy later on that year.
The quadrilogy, right? That shit was crazy.
Like it was like 4 freaking fights in a row. I'm like, brother, please give me a break. Like, golly.
Then Pantoja came up and was like, nah, this is my division.
Yeah, Pantoja just came up and was like, I'm gonna kill everybody. And Pantoja was someone who I believe lost at one point, but he was not anymore, man, not anymore.
Bro, he's like, I'm different now, bro. It's my division.
As soon as he freaking started embracing that, cannibal nickname, you really can't stop him. Our next fight, we went against each other here. Nicholas Dalby, 41 years old, against Sagid. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. My apologies, brother.
Gakmaev, maybe? That's a lot of syllables.
It is.
Well, let's go Sagi.
Dalby won. Just
let's go. In Dalby, we trust, and I trust, I should say.
Yeah, because I did not trust him at all. It was a split decision, but even then, it was not a split decision whatsoever. I think that they got the right call here with Dalby winning, and just a good performance from him. Really good wrestling, good
Yeah, lots of
pressure.
control on the
At,
cage.
at 41 years old, he legit and I love what they were telling say again. They're like, dude, you're gassed out. What the fuck's going on? And Darby's like, I'm hungry, dude. I want
Yeah, he's
more.
like,
I
I'm
want this
perfectly
third
fine.
round, and I'm gonna kill somebody. So props to Nicholas Darby. You know what I mean? Like he got himself a great one. Good victory, of course. What were your thoughts on him winning here? Of course, your pick.
Yeah, dude, I'll take it. It was definitely. I thought it was somewhat close because neither guy was doing too crazy, but Dalby was definitely controlling the fight more so. So I was happy to see him get the W. I remember texting you. I was like, okay, it might come down to that first round. You're like, Dalby won every round. I'm like, okay, I like that. I was like, I like that. Okay.
Like I was like, I'm not gonna feed myself some bullshit and it'd be like, oh come on, like fucking throw my computer and
Robbery
everything.
for real. So
Robbery. How
we'll
could
take
you?
it. Dalby, the 41-year-old wonder, bro, the ageless wonder. He's one of those dudes where when I pick against him, he always gets a win. So had to rock with
And
him.
and they kept showing his knockout where he lost to Dan Hooker. They kept showing it over and over in that main event package. I'm like, Darby won. You know what I mean? Like, remove that video for now and everything, but Darby won, dog. Like, come
For
on
real,
now.
though. He's a really fun fighter, and 41 years old is just crazy. So
Yeah,
he seems like
yeah.
he's just
You don't look it.
whatever he's on, he needs to tell the world because he's in great shape for his age and pretty much for any age. Honestly, he was able
I
to
think it's just
beat a
being
really big up
Danish.
and
You know what
comer.
I mean?
Yeah,
A Danish man looking like that, I can't blame him. You know what I mean? Like those, anyone overseas and everything, they always look so freaking like strong, so young, so lenient. I'm like, brother, what's in your blood? Freaking like
for
kangaroo
real.
blood? Like, come
Yeah.
on now.
So got the
But
upset W against a really tough fighter. Gives him only his third
very
ever
tough
loss.
fighter.
So
No
really
one
impressive.
expected this to happen. Like legit, everyone was like, Darby's gonna lose immediately, and you're like, I don't
Everyone
think
except for
so.
me. Let's
Mm.
go. Shout out to Dalby, bro. Kept my streak going here.
Exactly,
Beck
exactly.
thought let me down, but Dalby made up for it.
And then our next fight, Luke Riley making his debut here, a teammate of Paddy Pimblett against Bogdan Grad, and I was about to switch on my pick at this one. I was so close to being like, oh, I want
Bro.
Bogdan to win.
I
And
love him.
that first round would have convinced me. That first round would have convinced me, and then the second round came. Like Bogdan was doing good. He rocked them. He got the wrestling down, and I love what Luke was saying. It was like, my God, these guys see that first round? I got fucked up badly. And then the second round came in. He lands a perfect shot 30 seconds in. Like his teammate, Patty and everybody were in his ear, like, dude, this is what you got to do and go execute it right now. He executes it in 30 seconds. Big knockout win. Luke Riley wins his UFC debut, earns himself that UFC contract. Like that was the perfect way to earn yourself a contract. Go out
Yeah.
there, get your big tryout moment in the prelim, and hey, let the sparks fly. And surely he did. That was a 1,000-foot crutch, and it was a beautiful way to finish off the night for the prelims. What were your thoughts on Luke Riley's very triumphant victory?
Yeah, had to go with Riley on this one. He just had so much momentum, undefeated. Cage Warriors is a solid organization, so if he's able to be that
Yeah,
dominant over there, never lost, just we've seen a lot of guys come in. They've had mixed results sometimes, but a lot of the times, if you're the best of the best in that promotion, then you're gonna have a pretty good chance of doing pretty well in the UFC. And it looks like Riley's going to be another one of those guys to add to that long list of Cage Warriors guys coming over, finding success because that was a nasty knockout against a really durable guy in Grad. We've seen Grad take some punishment and keep fighting, but he was able to put his lights out badly. So, this guy's
mm-hmm.
definitely going to be someone to watch. Grad, I was definitely a fan of him ever since he was on the Contender Series, but sometimes it's not your night. And Luke Riley showing that he's one of the best young fighters on the come up, 26 years old, makes his emphatic UFC debut with that knockout, gets a bonus. So, hey, at least they're not greedy for that. And, he's going to have to do a lot to one up that performance in his next fight because, it doesn't get much better than that unless maybe he's going to have to do it in the first round next time because, man, what a knockout. The way he was able to just come up with that hook and land it
I
clean.
know. So
Beat
beautiful.
Grod. Grod was coming with the hook too, but the speed of Riley was on point and beat him to the chin. And then down goes Grod. So what a knockout. Definitely performance bonus worthy. I'm glad he got one.
And it's gonna be such a push in 2026. I cannot wait to see like Luke Riley dominating the featherweight scene. You know what I mean? Getting up there, dominating the featherweight scene, getting so much better. Paddy Pimblett trying his best to continue on his domination in the
Well,
lightweight
he
scene.
wants that
But
title shot. He will not
yeah,
stop begging for it.
Paddy versus Ilya is such a great fight to make. You know what I mean? He's not even Georgian. You know what I mean? Like I need that fight in 2026. I need even in April if you can book it. Like you know what I mean? Give Ilya
Yeah.
a fight in January or February. Let him have a quick one, and then go back in April and fight Paddy Pimblett. I will take it, dude. But Luke Riley, I cannot wait to see what he does for that featherweight division. Because if we look at that featherweight division right now, that number 15 man is Giga Chikadze, who's a very strong and tough opponent, but he is coming off a loss over David Onama. He has a fight coming up against Kevin Vallejos on December 13th. Then we got David Onama, who recently lost to Steve Garcia. Then Dan Ige, who recently was called by Nathaniel Wood. Patricio Pitbull, who picked up a win over Dan Ige. Gene Silva, who lost to Diego Lopez, which we do not want to put Gene Silva against Luke Riley just yet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
not
don't get.
quite.
Gene is still a scary opponent. Diego Lopez was just able to match that intensity, that ferocity.
Mhm.
Then we got Josh Emmett. I think Emmett versus Riley would be a good veteran versus like rookie type of
Yeah,
performance that
that'd
we
be
could have
scary though. Whew. For
because
only a second fight. Ooh. But
Josh
we've seen
Emmett did
crazy things.
yeah, Josh Emmett did lose to Yusuf Salal and he did lose to Ilya Topuria. Like he has had a couple of losses, so to fight another up and comer in this situation would be good. Brian Ortega is not somebody I would put him against just yet. Steve Garcia just picked up a big win. Yusuf Salal is on an 8 fight win streak. He is like far ahead of everything right now. So you know what I mean. Arnold Allen, he's not really he's still overcoming his injuries. He recently just touted. Aljamain Sterling is waiting for his next opponent. Lerone Murphy is waiting for a title shot. Yair Rodriguez waiting for a title shot, which he's only on a 1 fight win streak. I feel like Yair maybe needs one more fight at this point now because,
Mm.
like, yeah, you beat Pitbull, right? He beat Pitbull. You beat Pitbull. I think that honestly, Yair Rodriguez versus Aljamain Sterling would be a great headliner because
Yeah.
you got the fast swift kicks of Yair, you got the fast swift kicks of Aljamain, but the wrestling as well. It's same
Hmm.
thing. Yair has wrestling. I don't care what anybody says. He's got some good wrestling. He's got some great ways to handle the fight. He handled Pitbull very well. But then you got that Diego Lopez who's still trying to keep himself up. In my opinion, um, I would like to see Diego Lopez fight Movsar Evlov. I don't know if that's a fight that everybody else wants to see, but I feel like
Yeah.
fighting the wrestling with a massive striker who can still go to the ground like Diego Lopez did against Gene Silva, I think that would be very, very fun to see. Out of the top five, I want to ask you: Sterling, Murphy, Rodriguez, Lopez, and Evlov. Who deserves a title shot next?
Ooh. Tough one, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's tough to say. Honestly, I want to say Lopez, but I'm like he just fought for the title, so
exactly.
it's tough to say. Probably I'd say a year, but I don't know. We've already seen that matchup as well, so I'm like, fuck it, throw in Lerone
Lerone,
because he
Lerone
hasn't
is on
fought
a
Volk.
he's on a
So
9 fight he's on a 9 fight win streak, and Evolov's on a 19 fight win streak. They say, even though is he?
I think so. Yeah,
Who
he's undefeated. Yeah, 19-0.
who did Dan Hooker beat? It wasn't Evolov, was it? I'm thinking of somebody else. Am I? Hold on.
Gamrot.
Gamrot. Such similar names for me. So, Mateus, Movsar. I
Yeah.
get them. I get them. Like I see them. I'm like, okay, so they're both dominant in the top three. It feels like it's the same person at this point. And I don't mean to be disrespectful or as people will try to say, oh, like he's throwing out the R card, like you racist. I'm not doing any of that type of stuff. Like, calm down, calm down. I'm a Palestinian. How could I? But anyways, we go on from the prelims, which of course you dominated, my man. Look at that
Hey, well, we
domination.
both had a good
7
one though.
and 1, 6-2. I could have gone better if I would have went with and of course Darby. We should have trusted the 40-year-old.
For
I
real,
should have
bro. The
trusted the 40-year-old,
41-year-old.
but
That was
then
him.
we head into the main card, and look at all that green. Look at all that
Had to
green.
wear that
Look at
hat,
all that
bro.
green.
Sheesh.
Come on now, come on. The last time is now, like my goodness, and you're picking up all that
I
gold.
will take it. I still have a
My
long way to go to catch with Rami's percentage-wise. Rami still has,
Oh shit!
almost 7
I did
percentage up on me. So
68%. I just got back into
yeah.
my man. Let's go. Let's go.
So
Holy
fucking
shit!
Rami, even when I have a good card, he also has a great one too. So I'm never able to fucking catch up thanks to this guy over here. But one day, guys, one day. But hey, at least I
I
was
don't
able to
know.
beat him. At least I was able to beat him. Not by 1, 2. We got 2 up on him. That's even more rare. So we'll take it.
I know, right? Like my good. I was like, holy shit! A 13-1 card is
True,
just
bro. And I didn't do
nuts.
any bets on it. I should have done a fucking parlay, 12-leg
Oh.
parlay. Fucking been able to fucking buy some tickets to the Apex.
Go, you travel all the way there. Like, yeah, I'm here for the Apex. Are you sure? Yeah, Apex. Like, you want to
They're
go to
like,
In-N-Out?
what?
Like, I'd rather spend all that money on In-N-Out burgers. My God. But of course, we head into the opener, which they didn't want to talk about, and they kept it as a prelim until they finally got pushed into making it a main card opener. Kyoji Horiguchi against Sergey Olenbekov. Sergey Olenbekov, he's the same guy that fucking fought Conor McGregor when Khabib beat him. Like, I believe so. Like, this is the same freaking guy that got suspended. Is it?
Hopped in
Hold
the
on.
cage and fucking started throwing hands.
Is it? Hold on. Let me go see you.
That would be funny. Yeah. Tagir, man, he's older than I fucking thought, but 34.
I know,
Sheesh.
brother. Like, holy shit. At 34 years old, and you got pieced up by Kyoji Horiguchi, who is the GOAT. I don't care what anybody says. Kyoji Horiguchi was that guy growing up and everything. Like, my goodness, there was so many moments where I was like, why isn't he fighting for the title? And then he fought for the title. And hold on. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, he fought for the title. He got submitted April 25th, 2015, a day after my 15th birthday.
Yeah,
Like, my
that's
God.
fucking crazy, bro.
This
The
is
longevity.
sad. But prior to that, when he made his UFC debut, he defeated Dustin Pay by knockout, Daryl Montaigne, Jean Delos Reyes, and Lucas Garnett. Now, a lot of names that no one will ever recognize. He loses to Demetrius Johnson. He beats Chico Kemes. He beats Neil Siri, and he beats Ali Bakhtaev. But who Ali Bakhtaev? He fought for the flyweight championship a years later, or whatever. But when he fought Demetrius, he lost the 5-round fight, like the whole 5-round fight, and then tested positive for like steroids after. I was like, how are you on steroids and you couldn't beat Demetrius? Like, my God, like
Demetrius is him.
Demetrius is steroids. Like, come on now. Like, but after that, after his win over Ali Bakhtaev, which was in Northern Ireland, he left the UFC. He went to Risen. He beat Yuki Montoya. He beat Hideo Tokoro. He beat Gabriel Oliveira. He beat Manel Cape.
Yeah.
He beat Shintaro Ishitara in the same night to win the 2017 Risen Bantamweight Grand Prix. He fought Ian, the creepy Uncle McCall. I remember that nickname. Like, Ian McCall, he had that weird mustache and his thesis.
Yeah.
Like, you're
Oh my
creepy,
God.
Uncle. You're creepy, Uncle Ian, and then he just kept the mustache. I always liked his work. Hiramasa Okibo, Darren Caldwell, and who fought for Bellator. Ben Nagian, Darren Caldwell at Bellator this time around. He lost to Kai Asakura by knockout, which, Kai Asakura, we thought he was going to be the next flyweight champion. And then Pantoja, wow. And then he fought Kai Asakura, knocked him out. He lost to Sergio
got that
Perez.
get back.
He lost to Sergio Perez by spinning back fist in Bellator 272 in 2021. He lost to Patchy Mix in April 23rd, 2022 in Bellator. He went back to Risen, went on a 2-fight win streak. Lost his last fight was Axel Ipogue. Got back that win over submission. Beat Sergio Perez. Got that revenge. Won his last fight and Risen December 31st, 2024 by decision over Nakizimolo Zulu. And then now he returned to the UFC after 10 years.
Yeah. What a career, bro.
You think to yourself, like 10 years off the UFC roster. A lot of fighters, they either retire, they go down,
open a gym,
open a gym. Anything happens, really. There's a lot of fighters that their careers don't span out the way that they wanted to. Kyoji Horiguchi, brother, this fight against Sergey Olenbekov was we could basically just say it, pure domination. It was just, I'm gonna get this guy down and I'm gonna beat his ass the whole way. And then what does he do to top it all off? A rear naked choke.
Puts him to sleep, doesn't he?
put him to sleep. Like I was like, oh my god, and he still had so much energy in that third round. I'm like,
Yeah.
now imagine him in a 5-round fight. Like
Well,
this
throw him
guy,
Pantoja. He called him out.
I know. I'm like, oh my god, like please God, like if we could get like now if the UFC was crazy enough, they'd book Higoji Horiguchi against Taya Sakura in that trilogy in the UFC. But
That would be crazy.
that's the thing too. I don't want to put Kaya Sakura in that predicament because like
Yeah.
he loses, he's cut. That's it. He's gone. Like I don't think after losing to Tim Elliott the way that he did, I was like, brother, like that's just not good at all. Like, and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
trying to diss on Tim Elliott, but Tim Elliott's like basically on his way out. Like he's holding up the door. Like, oh
Bro, it's
guys, you
Unk,
leaving?
for real.
Like legit. Like my God, but. Wow. What were your thoughts on Kyoji Horiguchi opening up this card and getting himself that big win?
Yeah, dude. Like you said, pure dominance from as long as it started. And Tagir has just never really been able to put it all together, man. It's like he has had a lot of hype, training with Khabib, but he hasn't really lived up to it. And Kyoji, showed him who's boss and was the first man to ever submit him. People forget. So about Kyoji's been him.
I don't know. I don't know what. Hold on. Oh, which one of us?
Oh,
Zero viewers.
Bro hates
brother,
us.
brother, we have 200 viewers. Get on our level, dumbass. Like, come on now. Like, my goodness.
Bro wants us to hit the gym. We're on our way, bro. We'll live stream the gym sesh.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. Episode 50. And we're just doing the Rocky montage, and I'm like, ding, ding. And then we did like the punch before it goes like to the credits.
Like you'll never know, guys. You'll never know. But for real, bro, Tagir, unfortunately, I don't think he's ever going to be in that top of the division. Anytime he gets momentum, he loses a fight. So yeah, Kyoji is a tough matchup, obviously, but Kyoji just showed him who's boss and was able to put him to sleep with that shit. So give Kyoji Pantoja. Fuck it. We need to see Pantoja challenge, even though they're teammates. That'd be crazy to see. They'll be willing to put that to the side and see who's the best of the best, and that's what the sport's all about. Finding out who's the best. And I think those two are definitely one of the. I mean, at this point, it's Pantoja, but I imagine the story would be of Kyoji coming back 10 years out of the UFC, comes back, gets the submission, fights for the title, and wins it, man. They'd have to make a movie about that shit.
I would love that so fucking much. Like, I need that to happen. Like, make my dreams come true. Come on, Hall Oates. But our next fight was heavyweight action. Waldo Cortez Acosta, who, my God, he just had a crazy year. He's accepting all these fights. He almost lost to Ante Delija because of that whole like knockout, but then it was Ivo, and then he came back and knocked him out and said, "I want another fight," and they gave him another fight. Like it's crazy too. An eye poke from him, and I'm not trying to pit anybody against anybody, but an eye poke he wins by knockout, and then he fights like the next month. When are we gonna get Aspinall fighting, dude? Like, come on.
Well,
like,
apparently he's fucking blind now. Now he's like visiting.
Can he fight at UFC 323? Like, I would have thought that card because no offense here, I'm gonna say this in the most honest way. Pantoja and Van is a main event fight, but they're listed at the co-main event slot. Then there's Murad Dvalishvili and Peter Yan, who's at the main event slot. But in my opinion, I don't think anyone's gonna want to see another 20 takedown fight and then be complaining afterwards, like, oh, Murad is just too dominant.
What if Peter knocks him out?
Oh, he's doing too much. Now hear me out. Put that as a co-main event. Put the Pantoja fight, Van fight as the third fight there. Five round. Main event, Tom Aspinall against Cyril Gane. Bam! 3 title fights to end the year at 323. 323. 2 big fights. Sorry, 3 title fights. 2 big rivalries. 3 big title fights. I'm not dyslexic here, but I think it's good.
I think Tom's too blind though. That's the issue, bro. I think he's gonna be out for a little bit, bro. He's seems to really be affected by that eye poke, but Waldo's just built different.
I'll step up. I'll do it.
The eye poke doesn't affect Waldo, bro.
Hey Dana, I'm ready.
So throwing Rami.
Hey Dana, I'm good.
Some midfield gone in 5 seconds. Easy money. Hops on
Take
the
him down,
back. Puts him
punch
to
him in the
sleep.
crotch, get him in the choke, like
Poke his
John
eye.
Jones style.
How do you like that?
Right there,
Whoop,
bam.
whoop,
But
whoop.
but Waldo Cortez Acosta, I don't think there's really much to say except for I want to see another fight.
Yeah.
He's rising so much, and I think if he wins in December, brother,
Give him a title
give him
fight.
a title.
Fuck it.
Give him a title. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Give him a title fight because when I look at the UFC heavyweight rankings, Waldo Cortez Acosta is top 5. Curtis Blades is above him. Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, and Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane coming off the no contest. Volkov win. Pavlovich win over Cortez Acosta, which is crazy. Like, he fought Cortez Acosta and he won, and he hasn't fought since. In my opinion, let's book a rematch. You know what I mean? Pavlovich, Cortez Acosta in December, because the last time they fought each other was, what was it? August of this year. Yeah. Oh my God, really? When Johnny Walker fought Zhang fella and then won off of that weird ass, like, I don't even know how I forgot how he won, but he won in the second round. And Brian Ortega fainted in a hotel and it still had
Yeah.
Aljamain Sterling. I'm like,
crazy.
like it's crazy how this sport runs. They're like, oh, but hey, it's prize fighting. You got to take the opportunity to become famous. Yeah, before I die.
Not like there's a fucking card every weekend or anything.
Right? But Cortez Acosta picks up a big win there. All I really want to say is that I want to see him fight next month more than anything. And I think it would be awesome. Any comments that you want to make about this?
Yeah, I mean, hate to see Gaziv go down like that, fan favorite, but, Cortez Acosta is just him right now. And, he's really using the whole eye poke thing to his advantage where he's bringing out the eye patch after, putting it on Bisping, giving us good post-fight press conferences. So I definitely think that he's a star in the making if he's able to keep this up. He was a little bit up and down, not too, had a lot of decisions, but now he's starting to finish dudes and he's getting better on the mic. So I think that, if this dude keeps this up, before we know it, he'll be in like a top contender fight and then fucking throw him into the title, especially if Tom is really not going to be fighting for a while. Like, fuck it, dude. Give him an interim title belt. Fuck it. Because it's like he lost to Pavlovich, but Pavlovich also lost to Tom as well. So, I want to see some new blood.
Mm-hmm. I need to see new blood. I need to see some freaking like true blood right there, or Dexter even. But of course, I cannot wait to see what happens next, really, because this heavy division, it's not stacked, and that's why Waldo Cortez Acosta is making it very interesting. I saw that Josh Hockett, he wanted to fight Cortez Acosta. That fight happens, and Cortez Acosta loses. I'm just gonna give up on UFC.
Yeah,
cancel the show.
That's a little bit of a step up.
We are fucked. So
Joe's jumping from some fucking scrub to a top 5. I don't know if that's how it works though.
Exactly. Our next fight was Mirbek Orbay against Jack Hermanson, and that fight ended in 2 minutes and 46 seconds after Orbay landed that big blow to knock out Hermanson and put him down. There's I don't really know what else to say besides freaking that's a big ass welterweight. You know what I mean? That's a big boy. Orbay, is he even ranked? He's not even ranked at all. Is Jack Hermanson even ranked? He's not even ranked at all either. This was like basically just put these two together and see what happens out of it. And Orbay definitely picked up a massive win here. My God, like the things that we've been seeing from him in the past couple of months has been crazy because he loses to Mateusz Rebecki. Next fight, submission Kimura. Next fight, KO knockout punch. Prior to that,
both in round 1.
Decision, submission. He is 4-1. Yeah, you said 4-1 in the UFC, and I'm just shocked because every fight he's had, he's only fought once at the Apex, I believe. Yeah, he needs to fight more at the Apex. I feel like that's why he's winning so much. Is that when you get to the Apex, you get humbled. You know what I mean? Like you start thinking to yourself, "Oh, I am that guy. I am that boss." And you go into the Apex, and all of a sudden you fall over a wire.
You're like, "Fuck!"
And bam,
that tiny ass cage.
Exactly. But what were your thoughts on Jack Hermanson picking up his 4th or 5th straight knockout loss?
I know, bro. It's tough to see.
My God.
I'm like, I saw someone make this point. I'm like, how do you go fucking 3 rounds to Joe Pyfer and then you can't stay on your feet for any other fight, dude? I'm like, fuck. it's tough to see because Jack has been around for so long, always fighting anyone and any time really. So he's had a great career, but unfortunately, it looks like it might be getting around that time where he just can't take the shots he used to be able to take. I mean, that one shot that Allby landed was like on the ear, so I'm like, I see why it affects the bounce. But I'm like, Bo is out cold, and I'm like, that wasn't even like that flush. Like fuck, dude.
He's 37 years old, and his last two fights have been just very devastating knockouts from Autobay and Gregory Rodriguez. Then before that, it was Roman Dolidze who knocked him out, and Sean Strickland pieced him up for those 3 rounds straight. Like, there's the three fighters that I always see booked the most in the UFC, and as cool as they are, it sucks to see them go through the pain that they do. Jack Hermansson, Gerald Mearshart, and Paul Craig. Those 3 guys are like the most, put on guys of, hey, you need to fight this guy, and you need to fight this guy, you need to fight this guy, and it's always them fighting like the most top-notch guys: Gregory Rodriguez, Autobay, Joe Piper, Dolidze, Sean Strickland, Juan Vittori. Like, they're like, oh, we need to take a loss and we need to build up this guy every single time. You know what I mean?
Like your name,
every chance they get.
For real. I hate to see it to Jack, but yeah, it might be time, bro. It might be time. Don't want to see him get knocked out like that every time. And he moved down a weight class, had no difference. So I don't know. Maybe go back to middleweight, but I don't know, dude. They hit hard at middleweight and welterweight.
You heard about Sean Brady?
Yeah, how he might go up to or go down to lightweight.
Lightweight, like
he is pretty short for that division, so I could see. But
like him against freaking Ilya. Ooh,
yeah, I'm like the chin probably won't get much better if you go down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like the chin's already pretty suspect as is, bro. I don't know if you want to drain your body anymore.
Exactly. And our next fight was after Autobay picked up that one. By the way, here you are, of course, green. Like,
let's
my God,
fucking go. Autobay came through for me. Came through for me.
I don't think it's here.
Were we about to grab the hat?
No, not that. I was trying to grab my wallet.
Oh.
Like, here, just take my damn wallet. Here it is. Here, just take my damn wallet.
I'll take it. Thank you, sir. Donations appreciated.
Oh, man. But this Volkan Oezdemir is an absolute beast. I remember him back when I first discovered him after he knocked out Jimmy Manuwa, and I was like, damn, I love Jimmy Manuwa. Like, that's like the coolest motherfucker ever. And then, fighting wise, a lot of the people where you see when they make their outside comments, you're just like, shut the fuck up. Like for example, Corey Anderson, he recently said that the only reason why men are gay is because they grew up with sisters and a mother. They never grew up with a father. I'm like, that's crazy to say, because like I grew up with both and I'm bisexual. So like, what does that say? You know what I mean?
For real, bro. I'm like, maybe stick to fighting, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, like what do you call it? What was that one thing he used to freaking say? Like, fuck, I forgot what he said. He knocked out Johnny Walker, and he's like, "There's levels to this." Like, that was the funniest moment, because I remember when I asked him the question at the Bellator thing. I was like, back in the day, you said that there are levels to this, and then he cracked a smile. I'm like, see, you remember, brother. But Oezdemir, who back in the day was just a beast, an absolute freaking monster when he came into the UFC. Nicknamed No Time, he went on to defeat Ovian St. Preux, Misha Shurkanov, what a crazy name, the freaking throwback, Jimmy Manuwa, and then he fought at UFC 220 in Boston at the TD Garden against Daniel Cormier, lost by TKO with the crucifix. Fought Anthony Smith, got choked out literally a couple of months later in New Brunswick, Canada. Then he fought Dominic Reyes and lost by a split decision. He went on a 3-fight losing streak after going 15-1. And then he fought Ilir Latifi, who you could beat Ilir Latifi with your hands behind your back. He's so short and stunky. But he beats him. He beats Alexander Rakic. Then he fights Yuri Prohaska and gets hit with that spinning elbow and got killed.
That was bad.
He fought Magomed Ankalaev, who he got wrestled to death. Then he beat Paul Craig, a name that we always mention. Nikita Krylov beat him. He beats Bogdan Guskov by submission.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Johnny Walker. He loses to Carlos Ulberg, and then now he defeats Alonzo Menifield. Like, it's such a weird career, a flip-flop career, because if he would have beat Ulberg, and then he would have picked up this win over Menifield, then right now
we're talking title shot.
he could be talking, he could be in that title picture right now. I don't know. And
Yeah.
Pereira's just waiting. Pereira's just waiting around. Like he's like, do I move up to heavyweight? Do I stay down here? Like I'm content with anything. But what were your thoughts of Volkan Oezdemir's very quick knee and punch knockout in 1 minute and 27 seconds?
Yeah, beautiful work. Menafield, he's one of those guys who seems to have a lot of power, but he's a little bit chinny as well. And, sometimes the fight IQ I question, especially that Olberg fight where he like charged him and gets knocked out instantly in the first round. But he's one of those dudes where he'll beat those up and comers that aren't quite, top 15 worthy. But once he actually starts fighting these other ranked guys, then, the levels start to get shown, and he more often than not loses. And he's 38 years old, so he's almost 40 years old. So he's going to need to get things together before it's too late. But as for Ozdemir, man, dude, like you're saying, so much power. Always in entertaining fights. He's going to try his very hardest to knock someone out every single time. And he was really patient in this fight, but also ruthless at the same time, where he wasn't going to overextend himself. But once he saw the writing on the wall, he saw that Menafield was hurt. He's like, all right, I'm going for it. And absolutely unleashes on him. And yeah, Menafield stood no chance at that point after those knees were landing and then all those punches. He stayed up as long as he could, but it was inevitable he was going down. So yeah, Menafield, his fourth career knockout, and it seems to be that's how he loses. He's either going to win or he's going to get knocked out. So, and it's a tough matchup when you're facing Volkan. So,
Yeah,
I'm happy for
exactly.
Volkan, and like you're saying, who knows what can happen with that power? Maybe he goes on a crazy streak, and next thing we know, he's fighting for the title. Who knows, bro? You never know. Crazy
What
things
was
will
so
happen.
crazy too? What was so crazy too is that in the middle of the fight, I don't know if you saw this, like 20 seconds in when he first got that good first punch, he punched his face. He punched his own face with two freaking fists, like, and he was like, well, and he got so pissed off and started throwing all these heavy blows. I'm like, and I told my little brother before the fight, I'm like, I was like mimicking Volkan's style. I'm like, watch, he's gonna go for that, punch and then go for the knee with the left knee. And my little brother was like, I was like, okay, and then he saw it. He looked at me. I'm like, brother, I watched it. I watched this guy freaking 24/7. I used to freaking watch him so much when he had that big streak going on, and then when he went downhill, he still used the same tactic. So it's like that straight jab and the knee, it's that crazy power that he has in both sides of his body. So you're gonna have a bad time if you allow him to do that. Carlos Ober got lucky, but Alonzo Menafield was just another victim. In the words of Cypress Hill. Of course, next fight after Ozdemir picked up that big win there. If we go to our bonuses, it goes Luke Riley, Hyoji Horiguchi, Waldo Cortez Acosta, and then the last one will be for the main event. Like, wow, they're like, which understandable, but they're like Volkan, no time for a bonus.
First round KO,
no time for a bonus for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Wow, like, don't fucking use my name against me. Like,
it's just so whack. I don't get it, bro. I'm like, there'll be so many great knockouts, and they'll be like, nah, we'll give the same amount of bonuses as some card with no knockouts. I'm like, bro.
Wow. Right. Representing Big Kev because I lost and Bilal Muhammad suffered another loss to a very, very wide contender. And I'm just so sad. Just so sad. Use Bilal Muhammad. Remember the name. Remember the wrestling. Like,
yeah, please.
Why don't you remember how to take the guy down? Like, stop fighting and striking with these guys. Even if you land a good shot, don't wrestle. What were your thoughts on this fight before I go into my crying tirade?
Yeah, it was a tough one for me to pick because I'm really high on Bilal, but I think that with Machado training with Oliveira and all those guys down in Brazil, he's really worked on his takedown defense, and he's just really leveled up ever since he's moved down there, I feel like. And, Bilal is making it close. He, using the Canelo hands, his signature Canelo hands, but he wasn't mixing it up, not getting any takedowns. Gary was stuffing him, but, it's like you got to do what you got to do. It's like your style is your style. Don't try to change it just because fans be clowning you. So I feel like he kind of started focusing a little too much on the striking after, he was getting clowned on for being boring, even though he's always throwing hands. But it's a tough matchup. Ian Gary's so lanky and rangy and really ruthless with those kicks, going on those oblique kicks on the knee, man. I'm like, oh, that looks like it hurts. But one thing I will say, I wish this was a 5-round fight. I feel like that could have benefited for both guys because I was like, fuck, dude, this is only a 3-rounder. Whenever it was in the third round, I was low-key thinking it was a 5-rounder.
The whole week, I'm like, can they change it to 5 rounds already? Like, really? Like, not a single person in the Middle East would be like, oh, 3 rounds fight for Bilal Muhammad, who just came in, who was a fucking we'll just take 3 rounds. Like, no, dude.
Yeah, and this is like could be a title eliminator, so make it 5.
You heard it. The second they heard Dami Fastani, of course, the Palestinian anthem, they were singing it to the fucking rooftop, screaming it out the lungs. Bilal Muhammad crying his eyes out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as much as I love it so much and everything, and as much as I love this matchup, it needed to be 5 rounds.
Yeah,
really did.
I agree, bro. Because it could have gotten really going, I'm like, both guys have fought in 5 rounds before. This is a potential title eliminator. I'm like, bro, just give them the 5 rounds and, let them truly see what it'd be like in a championship situation where I feel like they should do that more often with these top 5 matchups because I want to see these guys really separate. Yeah,
it builds 100%. You know what I mean? Because like they always say in like all like the old UFC video games and all the old UFC fights, 3 rounds is for fighters, 5 rounds is for warriors. 5 rounds separates the champions from the other fighters. It separates the big contenders and the big challengers from the people that you just see on the prelims, and it's the truth. It's the truth. You see someone in the prelims so many times, you're like, okay, hell yeah. Then when they finally get that main event, a 5-rounder, maybe it's a fight night or it's a championship fight, or if it's a co-main, like a special one, they go out there and either they, do great or they do terrible. And that's the test you need. It's not like, oh, we're not going to ever put you in a 5-round fight because we don't trust you. You have to trust the fighter at some point. You know what I mean? Even if he has even if it's freaking Claudio Porelles, if you remember that name, he has zero cardio. He has 0 striking. He only has ground game. But if you're gonna put him out there for a 5-round fight and he's on his big streak, put him right out there. If he loses, he loses. That's how that's life. You know what I mean? Frank Sinatra, baby. But like, so good on Ian Machado Gary for doing the fighting style that he needed to do. But in my opinion, I honestly, I would set up Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Ian Gary one more time.
That title shot is close. I don't know who's gonna get it.
In my opinion, I feel like Michael Morales earned it. You know what I mean?
I'm not mad at that.
Once Dana White said Brady versus Morales get the title fight, we didn't see any other fight, in the welterweight picture say, oh, you're gonna get a title fight, you're gonna get a title fight too, you're gonna get a title fight. No, it was just Morales and Brady. Morales killed him, so Morales is next in line for the championship.
Yeah, I agree.
He also recently talked shit about Ian Machado Gary, calling him a bitch, calling him a pussy, all sorts of names. And Ian Gary says, "Oh, I'm just stuck in your head. It's because I'm locked up in your head and everything like that." Like, you're too much like Connor, buddy.
Ian does like to talk, that's for sure.
He likes to talk a lot, and he does back it up. But also, it's like the Jack Della Maddalena situation with Ian Gary. Like, you fought Bilal, but you didn't fight Bilal, who was in his true game plan. And you won, so it's good for you. But then when you fight Islam for Jack Della Maddalena, and you cannot do anything for 5 rounds straight, who's a pure, I'm going to stick to the game plan, I'm just going to wrestle you the whole time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Islam showed his levels for real.
Ian Gary, let's say, fights, Islam, they're like, oh, Ian's going to stuff him. It's Islam, who's literally fought against Volkanovski, who's literally fought against Oliveira, who's literally trains with Khabib 24/7. You're going to tell me that guy can't take down Ian Gary? Immediately, they're going to put a picture on a dummy of Conor McGregor or Ian Gary and just keep taking it down over and over and over again until they're done with the training session after 12 hours. And they'll be like, all right, I'm ready for fight, brother. Like, that's it. But I know I said Ian Gary deserves the next shot, but then I remember that Morales literally earned that next shot. So I'm like, Ian Gary against Shavkat Rakhmonov, because Shavkat did say the next 2 options I want are either title fight, which he's earned, or a final contender fight. Final contender fight, rematch it with Ian Gary. You know what I mean? Like, that's the perfect way to settle that bloody feud and settle that rivalry and say, okay, now he earned the title shot. Because if Ian Gary wins here, then that takes away Shavkat Rakhmonov's title fight by a huge margin. We went from
Yeah.
being undefeated to losing to Gary, who earned himself a title shot after all these big wins. I feel like that is definitely the fight to make.
100%. It's like Shavkat would be next in line if he could actually get in the octagon, but I'm like, at this point, he hasn't fought in a year, so I'm like, it's going to be tough to get thrown into a title fight when you haven't fought in over a year, so I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely a crazy division. I probably do lean Morales, so, maybe we see Gary versus, Shavkat, throwing Buckley maybe. Usman.
Buckley was somebody that was so good at, building himself up, and then Kamaru came back, suffocated him. And I thought we were going to get Kamaru versus Sean Brady, but then Sean Brady said, I'm thinking about moving down. I'm like,
yeah, so, there's lots of good contenders, bro. Usman, Buckley, Gary,
oh my God.
Cortez.
I'm even getting hyped off of a potential Kamaru versus Ian Gary fighter.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That wrestling that we saw from Kamaru, how he suffered and elbows galore, like, give it to us. Like, we've seen, Kamaru take down long, lanky fighters like Leon Edwards, so he can definitely take down a long, lanky fighter like Ian Gary. So,
yeah,
I think we gotta definitely get like a bulletin board and like put it to Dana White and say, get these fights booked.
For real, bro. Yeah, I'm like, some people are saying Usman should get the title shot, but I'm like, I don't know about that. But he does deserve a big name. So
one more fight.
I feel like Gary could be that big name for him.
Yeah. Next fight, Arman Tsarukyan against Dan Hooker. Arman headbutted Dan Hooker at the freaking weigh-ins.
Yeah, he was fucking tripping.
They were so freaking heavy heading into this, big rivalry. They get into it, and my God, does Arman Tsarukyan have himself a great performance. This pure domination. Dan Hooker was looking a little bit good, and then Arman Tsarukyan just went guns blazing, crazy, truly earned himself that next shot in a way against Ilia Topuria. You know what I mean?
Really, no other option, but I'm like Patty, but not really. I'm like, Arman is the guy.
Arman is literally that guy. Fight win streak. Charles Oliveira's on a 1 fight. Holloway's on a 1 fight. Gaethje's on a 1 fight. Paddy Pimblett's on a 9 fight. But Paddy's in that top 5. So I feel like if Paddy fights Oliveira or he fights Gaethje, which I think will be the 2 fights to make, it will be good. But Gaethje's so scared to take another fight.
I know, bro.
I want a title fight. I want a title fight so I can just retire already. Brother, that's not how it works here. They can't just keep giving you things because your manager's Ali Abdelaziz. It doesn't like Islam. It's understandable because he's so freaking dominant and everything. We've seen we look at Islam's on a 16-fight win streak. Like there's levels to this, brother. Like come on now.
I know. I'm like, you beat Fiziev, who you already beat before. So I'm like, is that really title shot worthy? I don't know.
It's not like the Ian Gary and Shavkat situation where you're earning a title fight and after a crazy fight and then you two are still dominating the scene. Gaethje, you got put down by Max Holloway.
So you're on a 1-fight win streak.
Yeah, you're barely winning fights. It's the Kamaru thing. I'm trying to say Kamaru earns the next title fight. Where?
Yeah, I'm like 1-fight winning streak doesn't get it, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if anything, I'm just freaking seeing red now. You know what I mean? Like I can't see nothing. I can't do these fights anymore. But that's what Arman Tsarukyan was saying. He was seeing red. He was very much ready to kill Dan Hooker, and he definitely did. Picking up that big win by arm triangle, which I thought it wasn't locked in fully, and then he just squeezed the bicep and the freaking forearm, and he was just going crazy on that hold. And then because a full arm triangle is when you're on the side control of the person's body and you're strangling them. He was still locked up and everything, but because the body pressure and because of everything that he was holding, I love how this freaking doing like that all the time. And because he's doing that, it's just it's killing him, man. It's like grabbing a baseball bat and like snapping it back without breaking your arm, but you're putting it all that pressure to snap it right in half. But Arman Tsarukyan definitely deserves the next title fight. But what were your thoughts on, of course, his win over here against Dan Hooker?
Yeah, man. I was excited to see how he's going to look. He almost, had that title shot, but then he had his injury. And ever since then, I'm like, Arman's up next if he can get another win. And he was able to do that against Dan Hooker. Hooker had a nice submission at one point, like rear naked choke, but Arman and his fucking freaky-ass body able to wiggle on out of that and his crazy-ass fucking neck mobility, bro. I'm like, it looks like he's about to snap his neck half the time, but he's fine. And he was able to survive that. And then the next round, man, but his stand-up was on point. His ground game was on point. It's like he had Dan Hooker looking all sorts of fucked up. His eye was fucking swollen. His nose was fucked up. He was almost unrecognizable if you couldn't see the tattoos. And, man, if he's able to do that against someone as tough as Dan Hooker and really just dominate them bell to bell and finish him with relative ease, honestly, it's like.
By the way, I don't know if you were seeing this when they were showing like the pre-fight stuff, like the promo to it. They were showing that Arman Tsarukyan does that neck roll thing in wrestling and everything, how he can spin around with his neck. Every time Dan Hooker tried to get him in a guillotine, he spun out like a freaking spider. I was like, wow, what the fuck? Like,
I know. I'm like, this dude is built different. Like, he's like, I guess that's why I hurt his back that one time, but I'm like,
right? Like
it clearly is working besides that.
Exactly. But
give him that title shot, bro. I'm like,
Arman Tsarukyan wins. You get the perfect card. Arman Gary, Uzdemir, auto by Waldo, and Korehuji. My man, nice
green hat of the week. You know, I pull this out when there's lots of green. So, you know, I don't quite have the full hat like Rami. It's not winning time. But, you know, the green hat will do it.
I like it. I fuck with it a lot. That's the perfect hat to have. But you pick up the big win there. My goodness. Like, I was like, he might win the next card. And then when I saw the perfect card, I was like, oh my
So every week
God.
I say it. I'm coming for Rami. He's not winning. I finally actually, you know, held my word this time. And was able to get an almost perfect card. You know, Tapoya had to spoil it against Bekzot. Couldn't find that chin. But we'll take it, you know. We both have had a one-loss card. So we're actually, I think, tied in terms of the best card. So, you know, one of us is going to get that perfect card, bro.
The Pereira fight when he fought Magomed Ankalaev, that was my only perfect card of the year. Like, I was like, oh my God, I actually got all green. So when I see you get all green, I'm like, my man, look at us. Like, we're understanding this. We're understanding this. Like, my
bro,
God.
I understand it now.
Now imagine the day that we both get a perfect card. Oh my God. But speaking of, our next card will not be this weekend because it's Thanksgiving weekend. It'll be next weekend. The first week of December, and we get December 6th, a UFC card in the T-Mobile Arena at Paradise, Nevada. I used to get bitched out by my old boss for always saying Paradise, Nevada, but that's the fucking place it is, dumbasses. But our early prelim, which you can watch on ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and FX, which is always so shocking to see FX, but it's so funny to see Disney Plus because I legit have Disney Plus on. Like, hold on, right freaking now, watching Simpsons, and Homer's sleeping in the penalty box for hockey, like, and hockey today as well. But we got ourselves a crazy card. Early prelims: Mohamed Naimev against Marion Santos, Mansour Abdul Malik against Antonio Chokoliu, Irul Boriansky against Ibu Aslan. I remember Ibu Aslan. Edson Barboza, the legend, is back. He will be fighting Jalen Turner.
The unretired.
Yeah, and here's the crazy part. Here's the early prelim, featured early prelim. Bruno Ferreira against Marvin Vittorio.
That's how you know it's stacked.
Like, whoa, like, holy crap. And then it continues on with the prelim card. Nazim Sadikov against Faris Ziham, which, Karine Silva, she's back, which we didn't get any women's fight in the Middle East because, of course, the Middle Easterns fucking hate women. I love women. I think the queens. But, you know, we got Macy Barber against Karine Silva. And then we got Chris Duncan against Terrence McKinney. That's going to be a good one. And then the featured prelim on ESPN2, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and FX. Crazy to get them on all these networks just to get the prelims out. But our featured prelim will be Grant Dawson against Manuel Torres. That should be a fun one.
Yeah.
Did they not update the card?
Bogdan
Guskov just fought, right?
I don't think so. I think he fought. His last fight, it says, was July, so he hasn't fought in a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he fought Nikita Krylov. Who was the one that just fought Luke Riley? I'm just so confused. Did they have the same name or something?
Bogdan Grad, yeah. Hey, Grad, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Bogdan Guskov, he will be stepping up at light heavyweight against the former champion, Jan Blachowicz.
Imagine Grad versus Jan Blachowicz.
That's what I'm saying, like, okay.
I'm like, what is this matchmaking? Lightweight versus the fucking light heavyweight? Wait a minute.
Here's the rest of the main card, and I'm like, wow. Henry Cejudo will be retiring this December 6th, UFC 323 against Peyton Talbot. And wow,
What a step up for Talbot. So this will be big
what a
test.
step up. If you can put down, Henry Cejudo, brother, get yourself up there. Next fight, Tatsuro Taira, who's trying to get back into that title fight picture, will fight the former champion Brandon Moreno. That's gonna be fun. Co-main event, Alejandro Pantoja puts the gold on the line once again, this time against Joshua Van. And then the main event, Murad Dawal's Relief versus Peter Yan, which I think they should add that Aspinall fight if they're able to, if he can finally see through his eyes, if he can see clearly, that Christian Cage over here, like, close their eyes, you know what I mean? Like, but it would be so much fun. But that card the next weekend is so freaking exciting. Basically, they're giving us like a turkey feast before they make us go back to eating porridge at the UFC Apex.
Yeah.
So,
like one more good one, yes.
Right, exactly. But like, what a card this was, and what a card next week will be. We will not be here next Monday. We will have, the Monday off, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Who knows? We'll even do like a little bit of a pre-fight prediction to like live it up and everything. For the final pay-per-view, we might have to say, who do you pick?
Oh.
And then the person has to pick. Like
final ESPN pay-per-view too. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, dog. Like, finally Paramount, where I don't have to worry a single bit. I can just keep it on Paramount the whole day and just watch the fight. And then it's so funny too, because once the fights are over Saturday night, I go to sleep. I wake up at 6 a.m. What's on? Football. Like, brother, we are, because Paramount's home to CBS. So fucking beautiful. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. Of course, we had a massive freaking viewership last time around. We still have a massive viewership here, 300, 400 viewers. That's still great for people to sit down, watch us, be entertained, and be overjoyed by all the crazy and stupid shit that we say, by the appearances from special guests like Big Kev.
Yes,
and we're trying, our absolute best to kill each other every single time we get to these predictions. And this week I got a freaking knife freaking wound right here from freaking good
13-1, baby.
13-1. The only one is a Topuria.
Dude.
Fuck. But of course, thank you so much to everybody that tuned in. I, of course, am always your host, Rami Afif. You can find me on my socials at who else but Rami, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Blue Sky, anywhere really that you get it on. And if you're watching this stream from Facebook, Twitter, or anywhere that you get it on your streams from, thank you so much as always to people who tuned in. And for all the messages I got calling me handsome, thank you. That really does boost my fucking ego by a huge margin. Like, my God. But Max, my friend, where can they find you at?
Follow me on Twitter and X at Combat Convos, and also follow my art account on Instagram at Brawl and Draw. Draw all sorts of MMA and boxing related things. Check it out. It's a good time. And I always love talking fights with Rami, predicting these fights for you guys. One day we'll get that perfect card. I was so fucking close this time. Taporia is now on my hate watch. He's getting knocked out in this next fight. Fuck you for ruining my perfect card, but it's okay. Maybe I'll pick him. Just because. Fuck, dude. He really had to do it to me, bro. Beckstop, it's okay, bro. I forgive you, but Taporia, I do not. So shout out to you guys. Thanks for watching.
Y'all heard it here. Thank you so much to everybody that tuned in. I am Rami. That is Max. This is Big Kev. Thank you so much to everybody that tuned in. We love you so much, and we will see you in 2 weeks, about a week and a half or so. December 8th, December 9th, that's when we'll see you at. So, salute, and take care. Have yourself a great turkey day tomorrow. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Have great, safe travels. Be good. Eat yourself a good turkey. Have yourself apple pie or pumpkin pie. Enjoy all the football games from 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Get them all out. Get them all in your system. Have yourself a great one. Throw some football with your cousins or your nephews or your nieces, whatever the fuck. Just throw goddamn football and have yourself a great time for Turkey Day. Thank you so much to everybody that tuned in. We will be back in about 2 weeks or so, or whatever. But I, as always, am your host, Rami Afif. That is Max. This is Big Kev again, and we will see you next time.